28 years later can give Cillian Murphy one career first, but would he even want it? Cillian Murphy has enjoyed a storied, chameleon-like career, moving fluidly between small, character-driven dramas and mega-franchises. From indie classics like Breakfast on Pluto to his Academy Award-winning turn in Oppenheimer, Murphy has never been an actor to chase blockbusters for the sake of visibility. But with 28 years later, a sequel to the film that first catapulted him into the global spotlight on the horizon, the door is wide open for Murphy to experience something he's never truly embraced in his career, being the long-term leading man in a major action horror franchise. That's right, 28 years later could be Cillian Murphy's first time as the recurring face of a multi-film horror saga. It might sound surprising considering the role of Jim in 28 Days Later helped kickstart the modern zombie genre and Murphy's own stardom. Yet, despite his return as producer and rumors swirling about a potential on-screen comeback, one big question remains. Would Murphy even want to become the face of this franchise, nearly 3 decades later? Cillian Murphy, not your typical franchise star. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Murphy has carefully steered clear of cinematic universes and long-running roles. He dipped a toe into the Dark Knight trilogy, portraying the unnervingly cerebral Scarecrow, but his role was more of a supporting, psychological oddity than a marquee villain. He's notably absent from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, hasn't led a major action series, and until recently was more interested in ensemble-driven or character-led films. Even Peaky Blinders, arguably the role that redefined his popularity in the 2010s, ended on his terms after 6 seasons. Murphy's Tommy Shelby was iconic, but not someone he wanted to play forever. He's always been drawn to transformative, intense, and often tragic characters rather than repeat appearances. 28 years later is personal for Murphy, but 28 Days Later was a different beast. It wasn't just his breakout role, it was a film that helped redefine horror. Danny Boyle's vision, Alex Garland's script, and Murphy's raw, emotionally grounded performance made it more than just another zombie flick. And now, Murphy is deeply involved in the franchise's future, this time as an executive producer. That move alone hints at a deeper investment. As reported, both Boyle and Garland are returning for the new trilogy, starting with 28 years later. Murphy's presence behind the scenes suggests he sees something creatively worthwhile here, perhaps enough to lure him back in front of the camera as well. The franchise first Murphy has never had. If Murphy returns as Jim, this would mark the first time he reprises a leading role in a film series, and it would be a massive moment. Not even in Christopher Nolan's films did Murphy serve as the returning hero. Even Oppenheimer, as monumental as it was, is a one-and-done biopic. Murphy's filmography is a mosaic of standalone roles, never serialized. For someone as revered as Murphy, it's almost ironic that he's never anchored a film trilogy or franchise. In an age where actors like Keanu Reeves, John Wick, or Tom Cruise Mission Impossible thrive as the consistent face of action-heavy series, Murphy's resistance stands out. 28 years later could change that. Imagine a world where Jim, older, traumatized, and even more battle-hardened, becomes the mentor, or once again, the reluctant hero of a new generation. Would he even want that? Of course, the real question is, does Cillian